Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning into one of my videos and you don't yet know who I am, my name is Stef and I'm the Psychic Soul Alignment Coach. I work with spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual people to help them to do very deep levels of healing necessary to align themselves with who they truly are, and as they achieve this greater alignment, they're then able to create their greatest level of success both in life and in business. You can catch videos from me about 3 times a week, usually on my YouTube channel. On Tuesdays, I will upload my weekly energy readings to let you know what to expect from the energy of the week. And on Thursdays and Saturdays, I do my best to bring forward messages that will help support you on your journey of spiritual awakening or spiritual entrepreneurship or healing. So today's video is all on owning your worth as an empath. And if you're an entrepreneur, owning your worth as an empath entrepreneur. So I really hope that this helps you, okay? If you didn't yet catch my last video that I did on the importance of highly conscious entrepreneurship, then I would really suggest that you go and check that out after this video. As well, up here there will be a card somewhere for you to click on. I also have playlists on my channel that really can support you. Playlists on aligning with your higher self, creating your impact, spiritual bypassing and activism. There's like all kinds of stuff on my channel for you to benefit from. It's lots of free teachings and free coaching basically on things related to healing, mindset, manifesting, entrepreneurship, and energy, and whatever else I talk about. So you can go check those out if you like on my channel, okay? So let's get started with today's video. Today's video is all on, owning your worth as an empath. Now, my guides, they're always the ones telling me what to speak on in terms of the videos that I am meant to be bringing forward, because that's what's needed. So if you are one of the people who needed this message, then definitely give this video a like, a thumbs up. If this is definitely for you, if this is what you were asking about, you wanted to know more about, because this is for you. I was asked to bring forward this message because when I got the title for this, I was like, I don't talk about this stuff normally. Like, why are you having me speak to empaths? Like, that's not what I do, but whatever. It's definitely for some people, okay? So empaths usually have the most challenges in regards to owning their worth, simply because of the fact that they are very deep feelers, okay? So empaths have the ability to feel emotions, to feel environments, to feel things. They feel things very strongly, okay? And so empaths deeply feel the pain or the trauma of whatever caused them to feel unworthy in the first place, okay? And that makes it hard a lot of times for them to break out of this unworthiness for several reasons, okay? Now, because I'm a mindset coach to a certain degree, right? That's definitely something I teach my clients. I'm very mindful of how I express things. I'm very careful about my word choice. So even though I just said that it's hard for empaths to do this, I want you to know that to a certain extent is a belief. It doesn't have to be hard, okay? It doesn't have to be hard to own your worth. However, a lot of times when we don't have that self-awareness around how our beliefs create a reality, then we do feel like it is hard, and it does manifest as being hard in our lives. Does that make sense? It can be a bit challenging, of course, but it doesn't have to feel hard. So I just wanted to point that out there specifically for empaths, because a lot of times when it comes to the spiritual community, empaths have quite often limiting beliefs and fears around being empathic, and they think that just because they're able to feel things means that they're doomed to feel things and the weight of the world or the pain of others, and it's just so heavy and all this other stuff, and that does not have to be the case, okay? I have helped clients who are highly empathic to not take on energy and emotions and things from other people. And there is a car that had like 777 on it, which is a sign for whoever needed it. But yeah, I've helped my clients to know how to manage their empathic abilities, and it doesn't have to be heavy or whatever else you might think it needs to be, okay? So you can totally become a very empowered empath. So with that being said, going back to the original topic of this video, right? The reason that empaths have trouble a lot of times owning their worth is because they deeply feel the pain and the trauma of what caused them to feel unworthy, okay? Now, I have a few reasons that I was asked to bring forward today in regards to this, okay? Empaths have trouble owning their worth because, number one, they've either disassociated or numbed themselves from their pain, so whatever caused the unworthiness. And so this thereby doesn't give them the opportunity to really feel the pain of that experience and release whatever they hold inside connected to that, which means then that they really cannot truly feel good about themselves. They can't really fully own their worth because they're still unconsciously holding on to the pain of that unworthiness. But they don't notice that they're holding on to the pain of the unworthiness because they've disassociated from it or they've numbed it. So it's like so buried deep in there that they don't even notice it, right? They don't even notice that it's still there and it's impacting them, right? So this is why empaths can have difficulties in owning their worth because they've disassociated from the pain and the trauma of whatever caused them to feel unworthy. So they're not bringing up their unworthiness feelings to the surface. Ooh, a pigeon. And they're not bringing that up to really be released and let go of so that they can start feeling worthy again. Does that make sense? You got to release the things, otherwise they stay inside of you. And if they stay inside of you, it's like, I don't know who said this, but there's some spiritual teacher out there who said something about like, you know, everything exists simultaneously, right? But you can only be tuned into like one frequency at a time, right? So you're either tuned into the frequency of abundance, the frequency of lack. You're either tuned into the frequency of worthiness or unworthiness. So if you are an empath who has disassociated from the pain of whatever traumatic experience that caused you to feel unworthy, and you're not recognizing that, well, inside, you're really tuned into unworthiness, even though maybe you're not consciously feeling it, but it's still residing inside of you. And until you're willing to raise your awareness around that, to really feel whatever pain and trauma you have and to really let that go and move on with your life, you're going to still be tuned into that unworthiness. You have to be willing to bring it up and release it in order to then be able to start tuning into the frequency of worthiness and then move forward with your life, right? So I really hope that that has helped. The second thing is that empaths, because a lot of times they deeply feel things, they've experienced traumas and things like that, a lot of times their bodies are addicted, habituated, or conditioned to that trauma or the feelings that cause the unworthiness. So this makes it oftentimes inevitable for them to find themselves going back to those familiar feelings of the unworthiness, okay? Because as an empath, you deeply feel things, right? So when you have experienced traumatic things or whatever situations that have made you feel unworthy, you felt that in your body strongly again and again and again. So this has caused your body to then be trained to feel the pain of that unworthiness again and again. You've trained your body into that. So a lot of times empaths have challenges with owning their worthiness because their body now has been conditioned to go back to that same feeling and to continuously go back to feeling unworthy over and over and over again, okay? It's just like you've walked a path so many times that maybe when you're driving home, right? Maybe you're listening to music and you're not really paying attention to the streets and the signs and that kind of stuff. So you're not really paying attention to what route you're going to take to get home, but you've gone down the path to your house or the drive to your house so often that you just naturally know like where to go. Like you don't have to think about it, you just unconsciously do it because you've done it so many times, right? So that's the same kind of thing here, is that empaths have a lot of times conditioned their body to the pain of that unworthiness that a lot of times they inevitably just go back to that feeling. The third reason that empaths have trouble owning their worth is because they have trouble feeling good, joyful, worthy. And this relates to what I just said about number 2, is this is connected to the conditioning that empaths have had and the traumas that they've experienced. So because a lot of times they have been conditioned to feel unworthy, quite oftentimes it makes it a bit challenging to naturally feel good, to naturally feel joyful, to naturally feel worthy. It's hard for them sometimes to connect to those states or those emotions and maintaining them for prolonged periods because they're so used to the opposite, right? So the opposite is their go-to, is their default. And when you really feel worthy, you feel good, right? You feel high on life, you're joyful, you feel worthy. But when you've been conditioned to feel the opposite, sometimes those states of feeling good or joyful or worthy feel totally foreign. You're like, what is that? Like, I don't know how to be that. I don't know what that's like. Or it might feel really uncomfortable for you, right? So this is part of the reason why it can be a challenge for empaths sometimes to really own their worthiness, because they're not used to feeling those states of feeling good, feeling joyful, feeling worthy regularly. They're used to feeling differently. And so that is a bit of the challenge there, right? The fourth reason that empaths have trouble owning their worth is because they lack energetic boundaries, which then causes them to take on people's negative energy and the perceptions that other people might have of them and how other people might perceive them to be unworthy. So again, empaths have the ability to feel, right? To feel what other people are feeling, what they might be thinking. They pick up on that. So when you are an empath with poor energetic boundaries and you come into contact with someone who views you as unworthy, you might unintentionally sense that, pick that up, and feel that, right? And so you feeling how people are judging you potentially will then cause you to start sinking back into those feelings of unworthiness again. But because you're picking that up from other people, and it's not necessarily you, it's how other people might be judging you, but you're feeling that. So then that's causing you to believe that about yourself because that's what you're feeling, and you're not really recognizing that those are not your emotions or your feelings or your thoughts. They're from someone else in that moment. So you might take on what you're picking up from other people and how they're judging you or what they're feeling about you as your own, right? So this is part of the reason why empaths might have difficulties with owning their worth, is because maybe people around them are feeling like the empath is unworthy on some level, and the empath is feeling what other people are feeling about them. Hopefully that's not confusing. And so then they're taking that on and feeling that even more, and it's hard for them or challenging for them to really own their worth because they're allowing other people's stuff to influence them, to impact them, okay? And then the fifth reason that empaths have difficulty or challenges with owning their worth is because they don't know who they truly are. And so because they don't know who they truly are, their own negative egoic perceptions of themselves or their personal beliefs and filters interpret things happening in their life or what they're witnessing or experiencing as meaning that they're unworthy or they're less than worthy, right? So when you don't really know who you really are because you're so deeply connected to your ego, so you're not really connected to your divine truth about yourself, your ego is the one that has all these negative beliefs, perceptions, these negative perceptions, these filters. So if in a situation, for example, you as an empath, you might be waiting for feedback from these people, or you might present something to a group of people, right? Now, if people don't openly congratulate you, or if they don't openly validate you in some kind of way, and they say, oh, that was really great, or I really love what you had to say, or what you did, or I resonate with it, I think it's brilliant. If people are not openly saying that to you, and you're not really connected to who you truly are, then your ego is going to convince you that, oh my God, people didn't say anything positive, or they didn't, validate me in this way, or whatever it is. So that must mean that I didn't do a good job, that they hate it, that I'm trash, and all this other stuff. And so your ego might take you down this downward spiral of interpreting all of these things as meaning that you're unworthy and that you're not good enough, right? Or you're less than worthy. What if in a situation, let's say for a job opportunity, what's the word? Dang it, I want to speak Spanglish. You submit your form or something, to try to qualify for this job position, right? And let's say there's two people, you and this other person, that are wanting to get this job position. And you have these interviews. Well, let's imagine that the other person gets the job position and you don't, right? If you don't know who you really are, then your ego is going to try to convince you that, you know, you weren't good enough. The other person was more worthy than you because of XYZ reasons and blah, 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 blah. And that might cause you to go in this downward spiral of feeling unworthy, right? Because you don't know who you really are. So you're connected to your ego, and your ego's negative perceptions, beliefs, filters, instead of your truth. And that's what's impacting you from really owning your worth in that moment, because you're identifying with that as opposed to who you really are. And your ego is then interpreting things in this negative way and is making you feel like crap, right? So if that all made sense. But yeah, you know, these are the things that impact an empath's ability to be able to own their worth. And, you know, this is true for you whether you're an entrepreneur or not. It doesn't matter. If you identify as an empath, this is for you, especially. Okay, so to be able to own your worth as an empath, but this is for everyone in general, everyone needs to do this, okay? But especially if you're an empath, you need to embark on the journey of cultivating a much higher level of self-awareness, okay? To be able to then discern your energy from that of others. When you're, for example, in a certain group of people or whatever it is, you're not taking on people's thoughts or beliefs about you, perception or emotions about you, and how they might qualify you as being unworthy in their eyes. You're not taking that on, right? But you have to have this great level of self-awareness to discern, like, oh no, this isn't really mine, this is someone else's stuff. And to disconnect from that, right? And also you need to be able to have that greater level of self-awareness to discern if things like pain and beliefs are coming up for you, to either be dealt with so that you can do deeper healing around them, or not, if this is just something that you're just, for whatever reason, just picking up, right? And you can, if it's something you need to deal with on a greater level, then you can move yourself through it, right? And this deeper healing will then allow for you to have these stronger energetic boundaries with other people so you don't take on their stuff anymore, okay? Also, the deeper healing will allow for you to have a solid sense of self. So that means you'll know more deeply who you really are and not feel like crap anymore because you know who you really are. So it doesn't matter what other people could think about you or feel about you or whatever. Like, you know who you are. It doesn't hurt you anymore. It doesn't impact you anymore. It's just like if you had like an invisible shield all around you and someone is maybe spewing hate about you or saying negative things about you, feeling negative things about you, but it just bounces off of you because you know who you are. Also, as you go on this journey of connecting to yourself more deeply, having greater levels of self-awareness, doing this healing work, you also need to put into practice certain habits, routines, or certain practices that will allow for you to start normalizing more of this feel-good state, right? That comes with feeling worthy, so that that can be your new normal, and that's how you just more naturally, effortlessly feel all the time, right? But it does take a certain level of like practices, habits, routines, certain level of discipline to be able to do that. So yeah, but you have to take yourself on the journey of doing all of these things to be able to reclaim your worth again, because it's not just going to happen like that or overnight. Like, you have to be willing to have greater levels of self-awareness, to increase your discernment, to know if, you know, people are projecting their stuff onto you so you can separate yourself from that, or to do this deeper inner healing work, to release whatever stuff you got to let go of, to know who you really are, stand strong in that, not allow people to get to you anymore, or put these practices into place and stuff. Like, this is a bit of a process. It takes implementing this, practicing this day after day, again and again and again, until it just becomes easier and easier, and you just continue to feel naturally worthy on greater levels as you move forward, right? So this is a journey, okay? But you have to be willing to embark on that journey to reclaim your worth, right? So let me know if this video was super helpful to you in some kind of way, what you got out of it, by leaving me a comment in the comment section of this video below. Give this video a thumbs up, a like if this helped you in some kind of way. If you benefited from it, I would really love to, see how this is connecting with you. If it did, let me know if you want more of this kind of content. I'm always happy to hear your comments, questions, suggestions, anything you want to share with me in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to receive more teachings on these kinds of things, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification button and change your settings to all so that you never miss out on a notification from my channel. Because I would not want you to miss out on this free, coaching and teachings and that kind of stuff that can help you with your journey and really coming back to the truth of who you are. That's really my aim with my channel, is to help people to come back to their divine truth. And so that's basically it. I really hope that this has helped you. If you are wanting to really reclaim your worth and to take yourself on this journey of having that greater self-awareness, having that greater level of discernment, being able to do this deeper healing, to have those strong energetic boundaries, and doing the inner healing that will allow. So my phone battery died, but as I was saying, if you're really interested in reclaiming your worth and becoming a very empowered empath entrepreneur, and you really want to just make the greatest impact that you possibly can through cultivating this greater level of self-awareness and discernment and doing this deeper levels of healing to really align with who you truly are, then I really would love to have you come and join me in my Soul Aligned Impact program. It's a very powerful, nearly 3-month-long program that really helps you to be able to be such a powerful and successful, conscious entrepreneur. So if this is something that speaks to you, please reach out to me. You can connect with me via my social media. The links to my social media are in the description of this video. You'll find me on Instagram and Facebook. You can also drop me a comment here on YouTube if you like, to see how we can connect with one another. But yeah, I would really love to have you come and join me. Soul Aligned Impact. This round of it will start on October 22nd, 2020. So yeah, if this really speaks to you, I would love for you to come and join me so that you also benefit from the early bird pricing as well as the bonuses that come with Soul Aligned Impact. It's such a highly transformational program that really helps you to see entrepreneurship in just a completely different way and really helps you to just be a more conscious being overall and really embody your divinity and really just make an even greater impact in the world through you empowering yourself and really connecting deeply to who you truly are. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for your time. I really hope that this has helped you. If you know of anyone who would benefit greatly from this video today, please share this video out with them so that it supports them. And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Hit that bell notification button and change your settings to see all, so that way you always catch notifications from my channel. And I really appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.